What's up, everybody? My name is Big Cam. Welcome back to another movie review. Today we're talking about 1996's Twister. Oh, NTM, it's Twister, it's a Twister. You know, like, wrong movie, but you get the point. Twister, 1996. What a movie, man. Bill Paxton, man. Bill Paxton is one of my favorite actors, especially from that era, the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, even into like early 2000s. Anytime I've seen Bill Paxton come on screen as a leading man, as an extra, as a, co-star, as a side character, every time I've seen Bill Paxton, I've always loved him and been like, yeah, he kills it. He was one of my favorite parts about that movie, whether recently it was probably like Aliens or Aliens, with an S. I don't think he was in the first one. I think he was in the second one. But like, I love Bill Paxton. Young Bill Paxton, old Bill Paxton. He's great in everything. He was in Predator 2, I believe. But also his relationship in this movie with Helen Hunt playing Joe. Him and Joe. And he's like divorced, or he's getting divorced, but he's already got like a new honey, with him, and she's like, "You're crazy, I can't believe you do this." And then Philip Seymour Hoffman's in there as a side character, and Alan Ruck, right? Like, there's a bunch of people in this that are, so young when they're doing this, but man, dude, what a movie. I remember seeing this movie as a kid and absolutely loving it, and just being shocked by like the amount the twisters looked so real and so good. And I can only imagine how good Twisters, the new movie coming out, is going to look. And I love Glenn Powell. He's been really great in everything that he's done recently. So I'm excited to see that movie and Glenn Powell and everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, that looks really good, and the cast looks really good, and I hope it can hold up to the standard this movie has set of greatness. Like, this movie to me is 4 out of 5 stars. It's about an 8 out of 10. It's a solid fucking movie, and it's not that long. It's a little bit under 2 hours. It's a solid fucking movie, and it's like a solid like rom-com kinda, because it's not like all that romantic. It's like almost like a romantic thriller, because it's not all that like funny, but there's certainly funny parts in it, like lines that Philip Seymour Hoffman has, or like the way that the guys bounce off of each other, lines that like the new wife has saying to the old wife, and just the way that Joe is and the way that he is together. But like, then there's moments where you're truly terrified because you're experiencing this twister and watching what's happened. There's a point where a hubcap flies through a window and you just see it like a knife, like a giant saw blade flying through the air, and this guy leans back and it just like slices his forehead, and the guy's sitting there in such shock because he doesn't know if the top half of his head's gone instead of just this cut on his forehead. He's like, "Oh my god." She walks over and holds it. She's like, "You're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay." I would be losing my mind. I would not be the proper person, I think, at least. I say that, but my survival instincts are kind of good, so I think I'd be okay in this type of situation. I would just kind of grab everyone close to me that I loved and just kind of get on top of them and just take the brunt of whatever damage is coming my way, and hopefully protect them in the process, and get in a bathtub or a basement. I don't know. Bathtubs, I think, earthquake. I'm not equipped. I'm from Massachusetts. We're equipped for snow and terrible weather, but not like hurricanes and twisters type of terrible weather, or earthquakes, right? Like, we're just natural, normal weather terrible, whether it's super hot and humid or super cold and snowy and rain and every other. Like, that's the best part about Massachusetts. You experience all 4 seasons, so you experience it all. But luckily we're not getting, knock on wood, we're not getting twisters and tornadoes in Mass. At least not craziness like this. Feels much more like Texas. Type of, I've never been to Texas, other than I drove through that part of Texas. I'm talking about the top part, El Paso. I drove right through there. Drove through that part of Texas. But comment below, what are your thoughts on Twister, Bill Paxton? If you love Bill Paxton as well as much as I do, please comment down below your favorite Bill Paxton movies and roles, and any movie recommendations you have for me. Drop those in the comment section below. I hope you guys are enjoying your July 4th weekend. There's a new movie that just came out on Netflix right now, the 4th of the Beverly Hills Cop movies with Eddie Murphy. That one called Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Obviously, Axel Foley is the name of Eddie Murphy's character in those movies. And honestly, if you haven't seen the first three, you can just watch the new one. But go back and watch those movies. I've watched all four of them now, and a review for the new one will be coming out on the channel tomorrow or Sunday. But phenomenal movies, phenomenal, like all four of them. The three cops, Judge Reinfeld as Billy Rosewood and Taggart and Axel Foley together, the three of them are awesome in all of the movies. But the first one was 40 years ago, right? And all of the dudes 40 years ago were mad young, and then they aged through the first three movies. Only Eddie Murphy has looked ageless his entire life. So even Eddie, 40 years later, looks 15, 20 years younger than what these guys look like. And he's the same age as them, right? Like, it's crazy how well that man has aged. Just shout out to Eddie Murphy right there. Like, I think I look older than him, and I'm much younger than him at this point. Well, I'm not even 40, right? Like, he made that movie. He was 22. You know, damn near my age when he made the first Beverly Hills Cop. It's been 40 years later, and the motherfucker still looks better than me now. It's crazy. He's still moving. He's not doing all of his own stunts anymore, but he's like 60. He doesn't need to, he's earned the right to use the stunt double. But that doesn't take you out at any point. There's no like crazy weird cuts where you're like, oh, that was a stunt double. That looked terrible. You know, like they do a pretty good job of it being like, okay, Eddie cut, stunt double, you know, good action, and then cutting back to Eddie doing the final move, you know, that type of thing. They did a good job with the fights, with the gunfire. There's a helicopter stunt with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and they clearly had to shut down some LA streets to do that. And, you know, normal Hollywood movies today don't do that type of shit. And they did this just for a Netflix release movie, you know? Like, I feel like that Beverly Hills Cop movie could have and should have been released in theaters. I think I would have gone and seen it. But comment below. This movie review is about Twisters. So comment below if you love the first Twister movie, and comment below if you're going to go see, I believe next week, the 17th or something like that, Twisters, or Twister 2 comes out, and 20-something years later, 18 years later, something like that, and I'm going to be there. Or no, even more, I think 28 years later. I don't know, math's hurting my brain today. But thank you guys for watching. My name is Big Cam. If you'd like to follow me on my other social medias, link down in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, do your thing, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one.